Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechWit Solutions. Sorry for the different camera quality. Hopefully it's okay with you guys, but one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is this really cool question about how I can stay so cool, calm, and collected when it comes down to these positions that I take. So first of all, one of the things that I want to share with you guys is that obviously if you're someone that's just getting started, it's kind of like, you know, when you're just about to learn how to drive, right? For those that already have their driver's license. In the beginning, when you're first getting started, you know, you're following all the rules, you're checking your mirrors, you're checking everything and trying to do everything by the book. You know, as you gain experience, as you gain confidence, and as you become more comfortable, it doesn't mean necessarily that you're a better driver. It just means that over time you gain more experience, you become more comfortable, therefore it becomes more of like second nature. So I want to say that trading in this sense is very similar, that the more that you do it, the more comfortable and cool, calm, and collected you're going to be. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're always going to be better, but you stay more composed just due to your overall experience. So answering that, it made me kind of think about recently, as you guys have seen, I've been on this green streak and I've performed exceptionally well. And one of my biggest takeaways from this is, I don't know if you guys have ever put yourself in a position where you take a trade. Again, I'm a day trader, so I don't hold anything overnight. I really try to focus on just challenge myself every single day to seek opportunity. And if something presents itself, then I tend to average up a lot. And I think that is a big focus of mine that not a lot of people take into consideration. And what I mean by that is, one of the things that I like to do, especially if you're part of the Learn, Plan, Profit team, you probably would see me do this, where I take a very small position, meaning that a fraction of what I normally trade. So if I trade with about $30,000 to $40,000 when I'm fully invested in a trade, instead of taking a position that's $30,000 or $40,000 right away, one of the things that I might do is I might take a $3,000 or a $5,000 position size. Why would I do this? Well, again, every day is a new challenge, and every day I am being tested with new things depending on how the market is trading. Again, I have a big focus on UGAS, DGAS, and overall natural gas commodities. I know I'm a little different from the average person, but again, it still presents different kinds of challenges. And the really cool thing about this, by taking a smaller position size, it's not even so much about the money. So today in the Learn, Plan, Profit live trading session, I made about like $50 in a very quick trade, and it was fun, it was enjoyable, and I was just testing it. I was testing it for fun. I was trying to see if I can identify a direction, if I could identify a pattern. Obviously, if you're under the PDT rule, so if you're trading with less than $25,000, this might not come as easy as for someone that might not be. I get it, but the whole purpose of this is I like to empower you guys to try new things. I like to empower you guys to test things, right? And I think, at least I'm a firm believer that there's nothing that will work 100% until you try it, you practice it, you refine it with your own style, and see if you can make it work for you. And so I want to give you guys another example. How many times have you entered a position and maybe you enter a little bit too aggressive? So I don't know if you guys do this, but do you always buy? This is a question that you might want to ask yourself. Do you always buy, you know, if your account balance is $2,000, do you always buy as much as possible, so $2,000 right away, and then if things begin to go south, think about it. It's going to become a little bit more difficult for you to either, you know, manage risk. It's very easy to take a trade when things are going according to plan, right? Because everything is in your favor. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is when things go south. And one of the things that I've really been focusing on, and this might just be me, but I have not always been the best when it comes down to managing risk. And I think a lot of you guys might be able to relate to me, and it's just because I come from a 9-to-5 background. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a struggle. It's an obstacle, but it's an obstacle that I want to empower you guys to, you know, be willing to share and something to be willing to work on, right? So if you identify a problem, the idea behind this is to try to find a solution. And one of the things that I personally have found to be very, very effective is by watching my position size, by taking a smaller position size, I am able to cut losses more openly. And what I mean by that is, just think about it. When you're about to take, let's say your full account trading balance is $2,000, and that's all you have in your account. Therefore, if you take a $2,000 position size and things begin to go south, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult, right? Because you have more money, you have more skin in the game, therefore there's more emotions. And it might be a little bit more difficult to cut losses. And you can agree or disagree with me in the comment section. You guys know that everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I just think that if you are someone like myself that really struggled with managing risk, with always thinking that the market is against them, let's be honest, we're completely irrelevant to the market, right? We're such a small fish for what the overall market has to offer. So it's not that, but it might be your series of best practices. And I hope that, you know, the best practices that I'm sharing with you is something that you can test out, practice, and see if they work well for you. So what I wanted to share is, by watching your position size in comparison to a fully invested $2,000 position size, in comparison to maybe a $200 position size, a fraction, you know, 1/10 of what you normally trade with. If you are solely taking that position to seek opportunity and to test something, and things begin to go south, even if it drops 1%, you're like, whatever, I'll cut losses because things aren't going according to plan, and I'm okay with that. And again, it's much more enjoyable, you're sticking to your rules, and therefore there is structure. But if you go all in, like a lot of, I think, beginners do as they're first getting started, and things don't go according to plan, as again, it does happen pretty often, you're less likely or maybe less willing to manage risk. I might just be speaking from my experience, and this might not be something that everyone would struggle with, but I know that the conversations that I've had with Learn Plan Profit members, with Tech But Solution members, and even people that just comment on my YouTube channel, I'm all about empowering you guys to work in areas not where you flourish in the market, but where we lack. And one of the areas that I have always lacked, especially when I first got started, was 100% risk management. So there's two things that I want to highlight in this video. The first thing is, instead of continuously averaging down, again, a big focus that I have is averaging up. So I will take a very small position size, and by taking such a small position size, if things begin to go south, again, it's almost like second nature, right? Being able to cut losses, and because the loss is so small and the position size is so small, I can do it without really hesitating. The other thing, as we're watching and averaging up, right? By being able to watch your position size, you therefore have less skin, less money invested in that position. Therefore, again, the overall emotion and the devastation is not as great. So I think it only empowers traders to be more structured, to be more disciplined, and to be more willing to take action when it counts. Again, I think a big goal for us should not be to be hopeful traders, which, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of beginners might be, but to be someone that has a reason behind everything that you do. And I'm a big believer in this, because I think that if you have a reason, right? If you're informed and there's an intention behind everything it is that you do, you will either make a profit from it, or if you do take a loss, but because you're informed, you can then learn from your mistake. If you're not informed and you are not aware of what it is that you just did or why you did it, and things begin to go south, then you are unaware of the mistake that you made, therefore you can't learn from it. So I think it's a very simple things in life that people overcomplicate, and all it takes is informing yourself, practicing everything that you learn, so therefore the testing phase, and finding a working system until it works well for you to be able to do this fully on your own. Again, the goal is not to be told what to do in this market. At least in my eyes, the goal has always been to work towards being self-sufficient. There's this little cliche quote that we love to share, and it's, you know, give a man a fish and he can eat for a day. If you teach a man how to fish, he can eat for a lifetime. But I think it's a fun quote that could just empower you to work towards being a problem solver, being self-sufficient, and not being necessarily a problem itself. Friendly little reminder, people pay for solutions, people pay for problem solvers, they don't pay for problems. So think about it. I really hope that I earned your thumbs up in this video. Don't forget to join our free investing group. We're the largest one on Facebook. That's gonna be that first link down below. And you heard me talk about them in this video. If and only if you are ready and you want to learn more about the Learn Plan Profit group, it is literally the only group that I work with on a closer basis, and they get to watch me trade live every single day. So if you like and would like to see me trade live every morning, click the second link down below, learn a little bit more about the Learn, Plan, Profit group, and see if it's a good fit for you. I appreciate you guys' time. Don't forget to subscribe, comment any thoughts down below, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.